Hey, hey, hands up! Lay some diet. Feet hit the trail. Heartbeats race. Dust on my jacket. Wind in my face. Not about to finish. It's who you find along the way. Every blister, every sunrise, every hot and beautiful day. Head first into the unknown. Let's go chasing trails, yeah. Chasing trails, yeah. Every mud pit, every stone, we're gonna run and leave it.
All right, welcome in everyone to another episode of the Chasing Trails. It looks a little different today. We've got Mark in our guest co-host seat today. And so welcome, Mark. We're so glad to have you, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Yeah, thanks. I got a little more hair than Jeff.
Yeah, a little bit more hair than Jeff. This is
Yep.
uncharted territory for us because we've never done a show without both of us there. And so Jeff couldn't make it today, but he graciously was like, "Hey, let's get Mark involved here." And so we're so glad that you're able to jump in and pitch hit for him.
Yeah, this is really cool. I like it. And in true Jeff form, I made sure to not prepare at all.
Yes, that's
so
right.
we'll see what happens here.
That's right. Just make sure you have a list of controversial hot takes ready to go when we're ready to jump in and get ready to complain about hockey and the Toronto Maple Leafs and all that sort of stuff. So we should be be good to go.
Go into
But,
how well my wife treats me and how
Yes,
I do
that's
nothing around the house. Yeah.
We love you, Jeff. We kid because we care. That's all.
Exactly.
We kid because we care.
Yeah.
But it is a great chance to sit down with you and to be able to have you a part of the show as one of our sponsors. Like, we love all that you're doing with St. John Trail Running. Also, big shout out to Funny Coast Counseling, who's going to be, and half of that is going to be on today as our guest host. And also big shout out to Devin with Resilience Through Fitness. We really appreciate all that you guys are investing in the show. And so we thought it might be good to just have a chance to check in with you because the racing season in Atlantic Canada has quickly descended upon us. We've had our first opening races, we've had the Hanwell hammering and we've had a couple of those different things. And so it's right on us now, man. It's time to go.
It is, yeah. It's when Hanwell comes and when the Fredericton Marathon comes, Rompin is right around the corner. So
right around the corner.
It's definitely ramping up. I actually went out to Hanwell and did it this year. It's one of my first years since I think the first one he ever did. I did the actual 50K, and then this time I did the 10K, and it was a great day. Good times. It was good to be around everybody again, and it just gets me fired up for the season that's coming up here.
Yeah. So, Mark, you're doing a lot more running yourself now. Like, what's going on with you these days? I see you moving pretty quickly around the courses. So what are you up to?
Yeah. So I decided last year when QMT opened that I'd sign up for the 50K. I haven't pinned on a 50K bib in a couple of years now, I think. And so I signed up for it, and at the time, like, back was terrible. Back's been kind of bad for a couple of years, and so just started consistently getting out, trying to get some miles in, and then I actually got back into yoga, and that's been a total game changer. Back is coming together, and the runs are, because I've been consistently kind of bringing up the runs. It's been a lot better for sure. So yeah, I'm getting out training for that. Going to do the Gaspasia 25K a couple weeks before QMT, and then head down there and do that. It's a phenomenal race down there, like, so much fun.
Yeah.
We've crewed it the last 2 years, so it's been nice to go down and see the course and see what happens there, and it just lit a fire under me, and I just want to do that 50K bad. So, and now I'm in a competition with my buddy Mike Black. he beat me in my first ever 50K, which coincidentally was Rompin' Rockwood in
No kidding.
2016. Yeah, so I had no idea what I was doing. Blasted the first lap, and then did a full change on the second lap, and everybody passed me when I was doing that.
Yeah.
And Mike was the last person to come across the start-finish line, and he's like, "You better hurry up." And I never saw him the rest of the. I just walked
Oh,
every
man, yeah.
step of. It took me 5.5 hours of the second lap, and I was dead last, DFL. And
Yep.
so he says he's 1-0 right now, and he wants to go 2-0. So we'll see. His training's
Wow.
been uphill treadmill walking. So
Oh,
and
man, wow.
and because he thinks it's funny, he's just going to continue doing that until QM2. So we'll see. Yeah.
I wonder how successful that will be. QMT, man, that QMT throws me for a loop, because that seems like you hear so many horror stories about just some of the terrain there. It's like a big boy race. Like, it's not for the
big,
faint of
yeah.
heart.
For sure, yeah. All distances offer something big, but the 50K actually is the end of the 135 and the 80K. It's the last 50K of their race as well. So I found you get a lot of the good stuff, which is really the hard technical, and then you go up Mount St. Anne twice and back around. But I've seen some of the course, like I've run the final 9K on the course, and it's absolutely beautiful. But I haven't seen the hard stuff, except for when I would downhill ski Mount St. Anne. I never
right? A little bit different.
Chairlift up.
Yeah, I wonder if we can get the chairlift working for this time. So
yeah,
we'll see how that goes.
It is going. The crew can actually take the gondola up to the top, but
oh, no kidding, that's cool.
I don't think I'm allowed. No,
not yet. No, that's it. Do are you feeling ready? Like, you feel like your training's going well?
I'd say it's going decent. I wouldn't say I'm ready yet. I still need to get those like big miles in on the weekend. Just to get nutrition dialed, but it's going well. I mean, I didn't feel really great until I had a good run on Sunday. So now I'm all hyped up on that one good run that I had. So,
right. That's all it takes, though. It just takes one good run to keep
golf.
you going.
It's that one shot, and it brings you back. But we'll see. I don't know. It's getting there, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, and your life gets a lot busier now because because Rompin is like literally a week and a bit away.
Yeah.
So that things just start getting faster paced, once that hits, and then you get a little lull there in June, but still got, the East Coast, Beast Coast in June. So
yeah, exactly.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah. So as you know, we've got the intro group going on right now, which is phenomenal.
Love it. I love it so much. It's one of my favorite things.
Guys out there. Yeah. That was one of my favorite things of the race last year, was watching you and your daughter finish that race. Like,
it was memorable for sure.
Yeah, it was awesome. So it's great to have you back, and it's good to see that she's excited about it. And it was awesome to celebrate her birthday last week.
Yes, it was
really,
so great.
really cool stuff.
She won a pair of socks too. That was awesome too. She was so fantastic.
That's right. Yeah, that happened last week too, didn't it? Or was that a week before?
Oh, 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. So not on her birthday. That would
no, not our birthday.
Oh, yeah. No, it's really cool to have that go in, and it seems very committed this year. Like, as you've seen, like we were on week 4. We had close to 100 there still. So it's good to see everybody coming out and having a good time. And then we've got Rompin' Rockwood coming up, and that's on the 23rd of May. We've got people from the intro group going, which is cool. And some of them are actually volunteering, which is also cool. And registration actually closes. It's supposed to close this Friday. But I think I'll keep it open till Sunday. Actually, I don't know. Is this being aired this Friday?
Yeah, we'll put her in this Friday, so we can give
so
it a spot.
if it's this Friday and people hear this, it will be open till Sunday at noon. So if you want to get in, we can get you in. And we also have these new shirts.
They look sharp.
Yeah, so we've got these on the store. We don't have the hoodies on the store, but if you do want one, just send me a message and we'll get them up. But you can get them on the store, and I'll show you the back. That's the cool part.
Oh yeah, that's the course.
Yeah, the
It's the
course has
Strava
got both
course.
courses on there. So, and $5 from every sale on the store for the month of May will go to a local charity. So yeah, got that
That's
going.
sweet.
Amber's neck deep in medals right now, making the medals. So getting those
Nice.
prepared for everybody. Now that I said that, she's got to get them done.
Yeah. We confirm now that those are going to be done. Yeah.
Yeah. So super pumped. I love Rockwood. It's so fun, and we've got Kelsey Hogan coming.
Yep.
Our local legend. She's going to be racing the
That's right.
25 again, and Adam is coming, and it's one of his A races this year. So yeah, that kicks off the
Sweet.
series. And then we got, like you said, East Coast, East Coast at the end of June. Nothing real new with that race, I don't think. Just hopefully a really good turnout from the intro crew,
Mm.
and then we can move into Looney Loops. As you guys know, one of the most fun times on trail. So,
It's
and that's
best.
still got space. So if people want to check that out, there's still room there. So
Nice.
go grab a spot before it sells out. We do cap that one. It's the only one we cap. And then we've got the Poley Peak Pursuit in Sussex in October, mid to October, long weekend.
Yeah.
And that's registering, and that's open. And then Bootstrap Boogie is actually on Halloween this year. So
Oh, no way.
our costume party is going to be on the 31st.
Oh,
So
that's sick. All
yeah,
right.
it's going to be really cool. So we'll have to celebrate that pretty well. We'll make that big. Registration's not open for that yet, but soon after Rompin' Rockwood, that will be open. So that kicks off our season this year.
Oh man.
And yeah, and like you guys were at the party last year, so we'll do the same thing this year. We'll
Yeah.
have a good celebration at the end and award the trophy and all the prizes. And it was great to have you guys doing the interview and stuff. And
Yeah.
and
That was really a lot of fun. I
that was
actually
cool.
like when I think of award ceremonies, I oftentimes think of like how quickly can you get in and out.
Yeah,
But you're really like, it was just kind of like a reunion because you hadn't seen some of those people for a hot minute,
yeah,
and you kind of get to check in again, and the food was great, and it was fun to the conversation with the winners was really good. Like
it was
I
really
was
cool.
really impressed with the quality answers that they gave. It was
Yeah.
it was engaging. Like they weren't just throwing out like cliches and stuff. So it was
Yeah,
great.
I don't want to say I was surprised, but I just thought it would be an awkward situation for some people, but everybody crushed it. Like the
Yeah,
kids were awesome. Like I
they
thought the
were.
kids might be a little quiet, like, it's people in a big bright room, but no, it was really cool. And it was cool to play the recap videos and show
Yeah.
everybody what the year was like. And actually that trophy, we're going to bring it around to all the races. So it'll be
Oh,
displayed
nice.
somewhere at all the races so that people can see like who wins it every year and stuff. So yeah, it's really cool. I that was a real fun celebration, and I think it was a smart mistake basically to keep it in the new year. Like
Yeah.
normally we were doing it at the end of the year, but this year it was just so hectic. We just wanted a little bit of a break, so it was nice to actually put it in the new year, and it was cool. It was like you didn't see everybody for so long, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. We'll do that again next year, just the same. And if you guys are in, we'll be doing that
Oh,
interview.
I'm
That
sure
was
we
cool.
will. I'm sure we
Yeah.
will.
And we might actually have we should have more winners this year because we are splitting up that middle category into two categories. So there'll be 6 more winners.
No way.
Yeah. So
Gee,
yeah.
that's
So
great.
that would be pretty cool. But yeah,
The
nothing crazy
so
new. But go ahead.
sorry, but I was thinking too, like, as like you've got a full slate now at this point in time with races. Like, do you feel there's room for more, or it just seems like there's with the different racing groups, like there seems to be like you could go every summer or every weekend in the summer and
Yeah.
have a trail race. Like, do you feel like there's more room, or do you feel like we're getting to the point where it's pretty maxed out?
It's pretty maxed out, I would say. That said, we are working on something bigger, and we have been for a while, and it's probably going to take a while, but it's the 100-mile distance is what we're looking at, and I find that is even a different beast. Like
Yeah.
it's totally different from these local races that we do. And a lot of what we do in our races, they're kind of builders into, like, feeders into something like the 100 mile. So it's nice to have those building blocks, and you can do your local race that is 100 miles instead of having to travel to, Arizona or
Yeah.
wherever to do these big races, right? Like New Brunswick doesn't have one yet.
No.
So that said, I still understand that it is getting tight. There's a lot out there. It's good that there's a lot out there. Like, I
Sure.
don't
Yeah.
think that's a bad thing. Like, it gives
No.
people lots of options. It is a little harder when you're trying to run the races and create a certain experience at your race, when it's pulling people in that revenue that you can bring into your race, to build up that experience. It can get tough, but I think we have a good thing in St. John where we have the intro group, we have people just staying local, and that's what we want. We want all our people to stay with us. Like, it's fun when everybody's together, right? So,
Yeah.
so it's really cool. It's cool to see, and like I said, it's not a bad thing. Like, have all the races out there as you want. Give some love in other places. I love that. Like, you guys mentioned the Seaside Scramble the other night. That is a beautiful park, beautiful place. Like, I would encourage people to go there too. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool to see. There's a lot of good things. And Adam and Kelsey, they got the Minto Mines to Pines, and helping out with the timing on that one. And they'll do a really good race there. They're awesome people, and I know it'll be the most inclusive runs in the Maritimes for sure. Those two are phenomenal at welcoming everybody in, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So kudos to them for getting that going, and you'll see us there. So
I mean, it's also neat too because it gives a little different feel. Like, that's what I mean. Originally was the Dark 50, and that was just such a unique kind of experience, and it also had like the relay option too, right? So that's what I love, is if there is going to be a lot of races, let's have some variety, whether it's like the backyard style, or whether it's out and back, like a lot of different ones that we've seen. And so there's a little bit of something for everyone, depending on what your taste is in terms of race style and that sort of thing. So that's what I love about it. It's just different.
They're doing some new things with it too. Like, they're taking what Yost built, which was really cool, like like you said, very unique experience overnight, and they just tweaked it a little bit to bring some more elements to it. And, like, the best thing about Minto is that it's a very unique place that you want to see in the daytime, right? So to move a start time back a little bit, that allows you to see it in the daytime, and the cool features that it has, and then go into still get that night running into like 3-4 a.m. right? So, and adding a 10K. So they've really, like, worked with the cool stuff that Yost had, and just brought a little more experience into it.
For sure.
So awesome.
So it's trail running's bigger, better than ever in Atlantic Canada. I mean, I'm just blown away by how many different groups are out there, how many different races are out there, and just seeing people dip their toes in. We've bragged about the intro group already, but just to see people discovering stuff for the new time, for the first time, like they're brand new to it, has been so much fun.
So cool, man.
And I think that's been like a huge highlight for me, is just seeing people discover things for the first time, and it's been pretty cool. And you start taking things for granted, like what's nutrition, what's hydration. Like, I mean, these are all new things, that people are discovering. You're like, oh, well, I remember that. I remember what it was like when I was like that. So it's pretty cool to see that.
I'm excited to see like Catherine, does she talk to her friends? Like, it'd be cool if she was like convincing her friends that also then convinced their parents to bring them out. Like, I'd love to see stuff like that. Like, that is really cool.
It is. Yeah,
I was surprised with the intro group. I keep thinking every year that it's like nobody's gonna, like, where do all these people come from? Like,
right?
If we get 100 one year, we get 125 the next year, 150 the next year. It's like, where are all these people coming from? But it's so cool to see. Like, it's such a fun group. for sure.
Yeah.
And you get a wide range of people, right? Like, you know, that's why we separate in those 3 groups. You get the people that want to run fast, and honestly, like, I can't keep up with a lot of people that I'm trying to lead, right? They're just so fast, and then you get everybody having a blast at the back. It's so fun. Yeah.
Yep. It's really cool. And I've met a lot of new people there who aren't connected with the community yet, who are just trying to give it a shot. And so
That's
it's
cool.
it's a really good like point of entry to be able to discover what everything is. And then once they get to the race, they're going to be hooked and they're going to be doing it again. Like it'll just be like putting cocaine into their veins or whatever. Like they're just gonna be like, this is awesome. But in a lot healthier way, of course, obviously. But
something we did this year, just the last point on intro group, because I know we've been going on about it, but I mean, it's worthy of it. It's such a,
worth it. Yeah.
This year we offered a training plan, actually. So when you sign up, you can choose a training plan option. And we've got Daryl Steves, Daryl, the local legend. He's got
man.
an enormous amount of experience with that. And the idea came to me because last year during ECBC, Daryl, Daryl, he races all the time. He's 70 some years old with MS and racing all the time. And he's such an inspiration. And he finished that race with about, I think there was 6 or 7 girls who were in the intro group. And the smile on his face, just so happy. And they were all happy. They were all hugging at the end. And I was like, Daryl, we need to get you involved. Like, what do you think about doing a training plan next year? And so we worked it out, and it's been awesome. Like, he's got this app, and they're all on there, and they're interacting with each other. He's doing webinars, and 57 people took advantage of it. So
Catherine was one of those.
Oh, is she on it?
Yeah, so she's on it. And one of the things I really liked about it was that you're seeing people on the social wall are just connecting for runs. They're like, hey, like, does anyone know where to go? Like, we'll go to this place, and let anyone want to run with us. And so you're seeing people connect outside of even just the one day a week that they do the run. So, which is super cool about it. Yeah. So anyway, so that's exciting, Mark. Thanks for sharing a lot of that updates. We wanted to get everyone a chance to hear about what's upcoming for the race season. I've developed my own strategy now for the whole point system. Like I'm just going for consistency. Like that's what I want. So Jeff and I were kind of like mid pack last year, and that's with like 2 DNFs. Like we both DNF'd at Rockwood. And so I think this year we're like, all right, we're moving up the points. We want to be able to get into the top 20. Because if you're just consistent and show up, like that's part of the magic is you don't have to win every single thing to get points.
There's no cutoff for the 26K.
That's right. I mean, so we could walk it if we wanted.
Walk it all. No, that's a smart move. And actually you'll have a better chance this year because you'll be in a different age
bracket.
Because we're splitting that middle, so you're not going to be competing against 22, 23 year olds anymore.
Oh man, that was brutal. That was pretty brutal.
But you guys did well. You did well. You did really well for not getting any points at Rockwood. Like that's where you would get your most points, right? So
but
that's great.
It's pretty good. So I knew at one point in time I had to change my strategy at Bootstrap because I was starting to get passed by the guy who was carrying the fridge on his back. You remember that on the beach? He had like the giant fridge. Like it was like some fundraiser awareness or something like this.
I got some bad news, Brandon.
He's back? Is he going to be at Robin?
He's doing the 26.
Oh, dang it. Fridge guy is going to pass me on one of those little single tracks. And I'm just going to be so pissed because I'm just going to be losing to this guy with a fridge on his back. It was empty, but still, like he's carrying a giant fridge. But
so what did you change your strategy to?
So I was like, all right, I need to focus on just getting distances where I'm not like overextending myself and try and get something where I can continually have a pace at least to outrun someone carrying a fridge. Like that's the bar of training is like run faster than someone carrying a fridge.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well,
that was a memorable moment.
In fairness, Brandon, we probably feel like we're carrying a fridge.
Yeah. I mean, I'm carrying a keg around with me everywhere I go. So that's the.
Yeah.
Have I told you about my race idea? Like the fat boy
Yes,
run? Have you heard this one?
About it. Yeah.
I still think this could be a fantastic run if you want to add something to the series, like weighted vests. We all get away as much as the heaviest person.
I think logistically it would be tough. And I think it's the first time Cody said no to a race.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's like, I'm not. No. I bet you if we did it, all I have to do is have a cash prize for it, and he'd be there.
You go.
Yeah.
The winner gets like a massive, like, get some sort of plastic surgeon or something like that to be the official sponsor for it. That'll be the prize.
Yeah,
anyway.
Weight Watchers.
Yeah. It's coming together. It's coming together so quick.
Actually, I do tell a lot of people about it because I heard you guys talking about it on the podcast, and I thought it was hilarious.
It could work. Anyways, all right. Before we get too far down that rabbit hole, we want to we got to toss it over to our conversation with Ann. And Ann Daley is half of the Fundy Coast counseling team, and we just love Ann to death. And she helped crew me at the Rompin I DNF'd. And I remember just walking through there after I'd strained my calf, and I was so angry and so disappointed. And she just gave me a huge hug. Yeah. And I was just like, that moment, I was just like, she's just meant the world to me. And so we're so thrilled to have her on the show. And you'll hear some of that come through in our conversation with her. And we hope that you enjoy that conversation. And we'll go to that right now. All right. We want to welcome in to the Chasing Trails studios, Ann Daley. We love Ann so much. As part of our sponsorship with Fundy Coast Counseling, she's been a great friend of the show. But more than that, she's a great friend to Jeff and I. And so thanks so much for coming on the show, Ann. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. I'm happy to be here. And hi, Mark. Substitute.
Yes.
Yeah, happy to be here and excited to chat running.
Yeah. So one of the things that we really appreciate just about you and Adam being involved with the show is just, you guys are, accomplished runners yourselves, and the community, you know what it's like. And you bring such a great perspective to everything. And so we're excited to have your perspective today. But we want to just start off the way we start off with every guest. And that's just, tell us your running story. How did you get into trail running? Like, what was your introduction to it?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I was definitely not a runner prior to adulthood. I did sports, so I was active, played sports my whole life, various sundry sports. A lot with Amber, actually. We played all the sports together. She was always better than me, still is. That still lives true as an adult. So thanks, Amber, for humbling me early. And I ran because you had to in soccer and in rugby and in all that stuff. It's like they made you do it at practice. So that was about the extent of what I wanted to do. And then, you graduate high school, you move on to university, you stop doing all of the activities. And then my mom got into running. So she started, I was probably in like my early 20s, and she decided to do like the running room learn to run program.
Yeah.
And so she had like homework where you had to run independently through the week. And so I was like, oh, well, I'll go with you, like just to like help out and keep her motivated. And then it turned out that I liked it. And I was like, oh, this is actually fun. Okay, I enjoy doing this. And so Mom and I signed up to do the Blue Nose in like 2013 or 2014, something like that. And so I went down and did the half marathon, and Mom did the 10K. And wow, I was not prepared. And so I trained, I followed the book and like did the whole thing, and it was a horrible experience. I did not enjoy training, and then got done the half marathon. I did it in like 2 hours and something, and got done and was like, wow, that is longer than any human needs to run ever.
Right.
Like, I'm done. That was more than anybody needs to do. I never need to run again. And then didn't for many more years. And then when I started counseling and started being a therapist, quickly realized that you need healthy coping skills to do this job, and was like, okay, like running's probably a good outlet. I should give that a try. And so I also worked with Adam, and he ran most days at lunchtime. And I was like, okay, like I could probably just run at lunchtime. And so I started by just doing, I think I was averaging like 2 or 3 kilometers a couple days a week on my lunch break. I'd go for 20 minutes, and that was my run. And I did that, 4 days a week. And that was more than enough for me for a long time. And then I started dating Adam, and then running volume increased
Right, and all
dramatically.
All the wheels fall off after that, right?
Right. It's like it escalates so fast. Yeah, and then here we are. Now we're running.
Here we are. Okay, so
Yeah.
at some point in time, though, you must have gotten to a point where you realized there are things that you really love about trail running. Otherwise, you'd find something else, right? So,
Yeah.
what is it about trail running that really resonates with you? What is it that really kind of brings you joy?
So I think I fell in love with running first. So like 95% of my running is on the road. Like I run on the road or like buffed out gravel trails. I don't do a lot of local trail running. But what I fell in love with was trail events. So I don't like road events. Very different vibe. It's a very competitive vibe. Nothing against it, but just really does not match for me. And so I think trail events is what made me fall in love with trail running. So Adam sold me my first trail event was Black Canyon in Arizona in 2023. I did the 60K because he was always talking about Arizona and running in Arizona and running in the desert. And I was like, that sounds very cool and very far away. Let's go and try that. And then loved that type of trail running.
Yeah.
So I still am partial to buffed out desert running, which is not Rompin' Rockwood.
No.
Which is not our local events, but I love our local events. Mark does such a good job of kind of feeling very similarly to the Aravaipa events in Arizona that we go to that I love. And so, yeah, I think that is what made me fall in love with trail running events is just those experiences and being out there in the middle of nowhere and seeing different things and not having the pressure to run fast because especially around here, I am not running fast on our trails. So there's no pressure to feel like you have to, and you can just have a fun day in the woods and have a fun day talking to people. Yeah.
Do you remember at one point in time, you told me the story about your run at the Herring Run and how you had gone out really fast. Like, do you remember that story? And then can you tell that? Because I think that really just that always stuck with me. And I just remember that's a totally different approach to trail running that I have heard from, lots of conversations. So can you just tell that story? I think it gives a good picture into how trail running works with you.
Yes. So hopefully I tell it similarly to when I told you.
Right.
But, so yes, my second attempt at the Herring Run. So I got in my head and I was like, yeah, I can be a fast, good trail runner. Like I can totally do this. Yeah, I'm going to go for the 20K at the Herring Run. I can run 20K. What's going to be so bad about that? And then I went and I started at the front and I was like, yeah, I'm going to run fast. And then I made it not far. Until I remembered what running in the Herring Run area is, and it is like worse than Rockwood. And I didn't make it very far into that run until everybody started passing me and started to get discouraged and started to get frustrated and kind of running. And then eventually just was like, why am I trying to run fast? Like, who am I kidding? This is not more fun. And I think actually the end of my first lap, I got to the beach where you like go across the tidal beach and was fully walking at that point and just like enjoying the beauty and looking around and enjoying myself, and got like halfway across the beach and turned around and noticed Mark and Amber coming. And so I just sat down and waited and just like said hello to people as they came by and waited for Mark and Amber. And then they came up and I think you were both like, what are you doing? And I was like, I just figured I'd come in with you guys. And so went and, sorry, earbuds. And started my second lap, just barely made the cutoff of the second lap. And then on the second lap, because I was at the very end, I was totally alone and just walking through the woods and being like, oh, this is so much better.
Right.
Was just like hiking in the woods and looking around and seeing all the beautiful things and was like, yeah, this is way better than running fast. And then I proceeded to not finish because at some point I realized like they're going to be waiting for me for forever
Right.
and they don't need to do that. I am just having a lovely day in the woods now. And I just like chilled out and had a wonderful second lap walking through, what is it called? Masserine, the Masserine forest. And it was a way better end to my run than beginning of my run.
I love that perspective. I love that story. And it just kind of gives us a really great picture into your heart and how you see the whole thing. But what I want to know though is you went from like that kind of run to say, hey, let's go run 125 kilometers in Arizona,
Yes.
and so you did the Sedona Canyons 125, right?
Yeah.
Right. And I always get all those canyons races confused because there's like 5 different canyons races and they all have 100 in them somewhere, right? And so this is the one in Arizona on part of the Cocodona course, right? And so how did you get to that? And what was that experience like? Because that's not just walking through the woods,
It is very much just walking through the woods.
That's right. I guess maybe it is. Yeah, you're right.
That was 125 miles too, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, big difference.
Yeah, big difference. Yeah. Take us through that.
So as I said, things escalated quickly. So in 2023, I did Black Canyon 60K and then signed up for Javelina 100K and did that October. And then 2024 got slightly distracted by Adam being in Western States, which was the year that I DNF'd the 20K at the Herring Run. And then, I love Arizona. I have been enjoying those races. I watched Cocodona. You should not watch Cocodona if you don't want to run in Arizona.
Right.
And I was just like, well, I could try. Was kind of the attitude. But then realized at some point that it's like, okay, I jumped from 60K to 100K to basically 200K. So it's like, I really need to stop just doubling the numbers. That's maybe a bit much. But yeah, so then in 2025, we made the trek down to Arizona to run from Jerome, Arizona to Flagstaff, which is 125 to 130 miles. Ours ended up being closer to 130 miles, which is really friggin' far.
That's far.
And I have still, like, you know, it's been a year. Cocodona just wrapped up. I'm sure everybody was glued because it was amazing. I have still not fully processed that experience. I have very mixed emotions about it for the most part. It was completely amazing in the sense that, holy crap, how can a person move that far in that period of time? So Adam and I decided to do it together last minute. We hadn't planned when we went down. We kind of both were going to run our own races. And then we got there and we're like, well, we might as well start together. Like, let's see how far we go together. And then after kind of the first aid station, about 10 miles in, it's beautiful. You run down Jerome. So Jerome is this old like mining town that's built right into the side of a mountain and has been taken over by artisans instead of miners. And so it's all these like beautiful artsy shops and things like that. And it just overlooks I want to call it the Verde Valley. And actually, when you're in Jerome, you could see on a clear day all the way to like the San Francisco mountains, which is what you see when you're coming into Flagstaff. So it was kind of a cool place to start a run because like you can see the destination very far away. And then you run down this steep road from Jerome down into the Verde Valley, and then you run through the valley, and then you start the trek up to Sedona, which is really the only place I wanted to run. I was just like, I would need to run through Sedona. People have since pointed out to me that like you can also just go and run in Sedona. You don't have to run.
You don't have to join a race to do
run
that.
that whole thing. But you know, again, things sound like a good idea at the time. So we agreed to do that, and Adam and I, after kind of the first 10 miles or so, we really decided to just stick together. It was my first 100-miler. It was a little freaky, the idea of being out there so alone, potentially at night. You didn't know how many people would be around, that sort of stuff. Like, just, was it going to be scary? We didn't know. Turns out, yes. So the run was amazing. It was beautiful. The first day was fantastic. I loved it. You know, not moving fast. You definitely don't move quick when you're going that far. Or at least I don't move quick when you're going that far. And it was beautiful. We got up into Sedona. Sedona and the Red Rocks were just jaw-dropping. It was as beautiful as I thought that it would be. And then it gets nighttime, and you have to go over the Hangover Trail. And I don't know if anybody watched Cocodona, but the Hangover Trail is a bit of a notorious section. It is probably the most beautiful section of the trail. It is in the daytime, looks amazing. We did not hit it in the daytime. We hit it at nighttime. And it is exposed red rock, like clay, like shelf. Like it is just open. And like just cliffs, like just nothing. That you walk up. And so I am also afraid of heights and do not like being exposed. And
it's a bad combo.
It was not a good combo. And then, of course, because it's exposed like that, they can't have like trail markers. So they have the white blazes on the rock, right? Which again is kind of like when we put white blazes on white birch trees.
Right.
Right? It's like sometimes you can see them and sometimes they're the tree. So they have white moss that grows on the red brick. So at nighttime, when you're shining your headlamp to find your next trail marker, you don't know if you're shining it on the white trailblaze or the white moss. So we got off trail. It was sketchy. I very much got to the point of like just all like 4 points of contact on the rock, like fully on my hands and knees, just staring at the rock and just in my head saying, you can't have a panic attack here. Like, you can't have a panic attack here. This is not, you can't do this. You have to figure out how to move forward. And Adam was trying to be helpful. He was being very helpful. But you're terrified and your partner is trying to help you, and it's not always easy to listen to your partner when you're in that state.
Yeah, right.
And so he was trying and he was doing a good job directing me, but I was not able to move very well at all. And at which point some 250 guys came by and they were locals and they were like, "Are you having a hard time?" And it was, yes, I am having a hard time. And they were like, "Okay, we've been here. We know where the trail is. We'll help you out." And they proceeded to like fully slow down their run for me. And like this guy and his pacer like took me every step. Like one would be behind me pushing me up, one would be up top like pulling my hand. And then I proceeded to just stare at their feet for the remainder of the trail. Because I could not look around. I was just absolutely terrified for the entire section of trail.
Wow.
I frequently remember that as being hours of time. It is only like a 3-mile trail. It was not hours. But I fully remember it as like, we were there for days.
Right. Time stopped. Yeah, that time stopped.
And so we got over the hangover trail. I stared at these guys' feet for like 7 days. And then we eventually got off the trail. And that was when I learned just how much adrenaline consumes your energy. And so when we got done the hangover trail, I was ready to be done the race. Like I was like, I'm done. I have nothing left. I want to quit now. I am all done. And we got to the aid station, and that was when the dialogue between Adam and I being like, I'm dead. And Adam being like, or we keep going. And so we kept going because it's not easy to stop Adam when he wants to keep going. So thank God for Adam. He's the only reason that I finished that event. I would not have kept going. I probably would still be on the hangover trail. Like I would not have, I wouldn't have made it. Between him and that guy from the 250, who I do not have any idea what he looks like. But yeah, so we just kept trucking, and the nights got very long, and then you get over the hangover trail and all of the adrenaline that comes with that, and then you're up in Flagstaff at that point, so you're up on the Coconino Plateau and you have to make your way all the way to Flagstaff. And so we did. You just keep walking, and it's through the largest pine forest. It's not pine, I don't know what it's called, but ponderosa pines.
Right.
The ponderosa pine forest, which is beautiful. It's super cool. However, through the day, it is not shady. They are not shady forests. It does not remind you of our forests. It is very exposed. There are just also trees there. And so, yeah, so there's you had to walk through that, and I was moving slow. It was painful. Adam often recalls that I would say, okay, he'd say, okay, we got to go 1 more mile. Like we can take a break in a mile. And I'd say, okay. And I'd walk for not long. And I'd say, that has to be a mile. He'd be like, I'm sitting down. And he was like, that was a 1/4 of a mile. That was like, we have not been moving. So that was an exceptionally long day. But it was fun. It was beautiful. It was hard. You do not always want to keep going. It was, yeah, there was so many things. We did walk. It was very much a hike through the woods after the hangover trail. There was very little running that happened after that. And at one point we kind of realized, like, you leapfrog with people all day, right? And especially when you're doing runs that long, you end up with the same crew. And one thing that we noticed was we would see the same people and they would run by us. Hi. And then we were walking. We were not doing anything that resembled running. And then a few hours later, they would come from behind you again. And you'd be like, what? Like, you passed me hours ago.
Right.
And so we quickly learned that it was like, it's not more economical to be running. So why run? So we just kept walking, and some of those people came in front of us, and a lot of them came in behind us because they ran and therefore needed more rest. And because we were walking, we didn't need to stop as much or for as long, and so we continued to make good time. And I mean, I'm using good time loosely, but
air quotes. Yeah.
But yeah, and so I mean, you learn a lot being out there. You learn a lot about partnership and that sort of thing when you do that whole thing with your partner as well.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, that must have been a real test, like to be able to want to actually see that person again after you finish going through that race. I mean, it must be meant to be, right? If you guys can still get along after all that.
Yes.
Right?
I didn't swear at him once.
Really? All right.
Yes.
I mean, I want to swear at him all the time, and I didn't even run the race with him, so that's good for you. That's positive.
Yeah. No, he is very skilled at just not letting you give up. So he would just go ever so far in front of me that I was still within shot, but that I couldn't stop either because he would lose me. And he just ignored the questions and ignored the comments, and we're just going to keep going. We're just going to get to the next aid station. We just got to get here. And then eventually you're at the end.
Then you're done. And
then you're done. And yeah.
So that kind of leads me to the next question, and is like, how has doing races like that and running in general, because it doesn't have to be something like that. It could be running 5K, it could be just as impactful. And that's one of the things I always love about our intro group is like that, seeing the intro group do their first like 8K race is amazing. I don't think there's anything better than seeing that. Like, it is, right, Mark? Like, that is just like got to be one of the best things in the world, seeing these guys.
Yeah, there's nothing better than that day at all. It's a nice short day. But it's so inspiring seeing all those people finish that race. It's incredible.
Right. And they experience the same things, that we do. And which means me to like, it's all leading up to this question is like, how has running changed you? Like, how has that impacted you? And have you seen growth in your life from that? Or has it shone a bright spotlight on things that you may not have wanted it to shine a light on? Like, how has it impacted your life?
I think it has really, I don't know that it's changed my life so much as it has made me much more aware of myself. So I've learned a lot about myself through running. Good things about myself that I like. Like I've learned that if I set my mind to it, I'm going to do it. It's like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to finish it. Which is good to know about yourself, that it's like that you can be goal oriented and you can be driven and you can accomplish what you set your mind to. That really helps when you're trying to set big goals outside of running, that it's like, no, I can do things. But you also learn other things about yourself. So it's like, you learn what you're good at, you learn what you're not good at, you learn where your mind goes, you learn how you think. I use it a lot to keep my life in perspective. I use it a lot to check the way that I'm thinking about things, right? Because we don't all think the best, or in the most helpful ways all the time. But running helps me to challenge some of those things, like the herring run example. It's like, I can get caught up in the assumption that I need to do it a certain way, or the expectation that, to be a good runner, you have to be at the front. And what makes a good runner is, you win, or you're in the top, or whatever. But those thoughts don't help me. They might help other people, like other people who are more competitive and those sorts of things. But for me, that just makes running less fun.
Yeah.
Soon as I put those expectations on myself, I have no fun. It removes all the joy. And so I've learned that I have to think about it differently, right? I have to think about, okay, why am I actually here? What parts of this do I like? Being at the front, like I'm never there, so maybe I would like it if I was, but like I'm not.
That's right.
I'm not. And when I expect myself to be, I don't have fun. So why push for that? Because it's not enjoyable to me. I have fun when I am just enjoying moving, and I'm enjoying being outside, and I'm talking to people, and I'm looking at pretty stuff. That's what's fun for me. And so when I think about that and I change that thought process, and I don't let myself get caught up in things that aren't helpful, I do better and I feel better. And that's true in all of my life, right? It's like, so knowing the way that I think and knowing ways that are helpful and ways that are harmful, I'm better able to manage myself in my life. And knowing things about yourself, it's like, I can be very rigid. Didn't know that until I started doing different running training programs and realizing that, like, I need a fairly fluid program, because if you give me a rigid program, I will be rigid about it. And I will get very stuck. And yeah, I could put a whole bunch of work into changing that if I felt like that would be useful.
Yeah.
But I can also just know that about myself, accept that about myself, and then accommodate for it and say, okay, I just need to not have a super rigid plan. And by not having a super rigid plan, I'm probably going to feel better about my running and probably be just as successful in my run, right? Like, some of my best runs have been when I've simply put an average weekly mileage that slowly increases, that I have a huge buffer around. And then training's great and I love it. When I try to get too particular, it doesn't go well. And it's like, that is something that I learned, and that is something that I've definitely used in other parts of my life once I realized that it's like, oh, okay, you can do that. So let's accommodate for that rigidity and be flexible with ourselves so that you're more successful and have more joy. So I don't know that running has changed me so much as made me more aware of things in my life and ways that I do things. And like, there's nothing like going to run an ultra to really learn how you deal with stuff.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, put yourself in hard positions and you start to see things that you never would have seen any other way.
Exactly.
Okay, I want to finish up with this question, and then we'll turn it over to, if Mark has anything he wants to throw in there, he can do that too.
Sure.
So Cocodona just happened at the time of this recording. And as a lady, I love to know what your perspective is on this, because I mean, we have, for the, a female first place, like, overall finisher with Rachel Entrekin, and just seeing that happen, and just seeing the way that ladies are moving in endurance sports, like, is just, I don't think we've ever seen anything like it before. Like, what does that mean for you? I mean, I as a guy, I mean, it's impressive, but I wonder if it means something different for you. Like, so tell me, what did you think when you saw the end result there at Cocodona?
I've been following Rachel, so I was rooting for her. Like, I think that she's an awesome runner. I really like her personality and her style and the attitude that she brings to running. So I was not surprised to see her at the front. I was kind of expecting she was going to go for it. So I wasn't surprised to see it. And, I think I have always been aware that women are tough as nails and can do hard things and do not know limits and can succeed wherever they want. I think seeing it play out and seeing people's reactions to it is really awesome. Like, I mean, I like to see it happen. But Anne Trayson, I don't know if you guys know Anne Trayson. So she actually just made a post. I saw it just before I came on.
I saw that too, yeah.
Yeah, and it was that's the attitude that I have, that it's like it's not a measure. Like, her beating the guys is not actually a measure of success. It's like her being out there and her doing hard things and coming out herself better and pushing herself. Like, that's the measure. It doesn't matter. Like, the guys aren't the competition, right? It's what can you go out there and do, and can you push yourself? Like, the fact that she beat her course record by as much as she did, I can't remember the number anymore. I want to say 10 hours, but I don't know. Like, that is amazing. Like, the fact that she went out and beat herself that hard is just beyond. Right. And so, I think checking out Anne Trayson's post is how I feel about.
She's the goat.
Right.
She's the goat when it comes to that stuff. My goodness, she was wild. Did you see a lot of the comments that they had with Rachel after the race? They were talking about her mentality going into it. She, she had jumped out in front, early on. And she was just saying, like, she started having those self-doubts. She's like, what am I doing up front? I'm like, I'm going to blow up. Like, I don't know if I belong up here at the front. And then she just had this mantra. She's like, why not me? Like, why not me? And she just kept going. I thought that was just such a really powerful example of just like what you were talking about with like your even your own mindset and like the things that you say to yourself. And it was refreshing to hear someone who's like a professional runner also has some of those struggles as well, but to be able to have the tools to be able to overcome that. To me, that was one of the big takeaways I had from her whole experience, was just like, she was able to just kind of keep that mindset in front of her. And so that, I thought that was just wonderful.
Yeah. Well, and again, I think like, her attitude in general, I really like. I really like her. I would definitely fangirl really hard if I met her. She just seems super fun. Like, I would love to see her at an event and say hello. But it's like, again, it's that power of like, how are you thinking about things? Like, when you get out there at an event, like what is going through your mind and how are you thinking about it, and how the impact of how you're thinking about it will translate into your event.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, and she just personified that, like, big in time. Her whole being in that race. Right. Because why not her? Like,
I mean, it's just a fleet of inspiration. I mean, she's just like, the impact that she's had on people is just going to be ripples from there. But Mark, you got anything you want to throw out there before we finish up?
Yeah, I mean, on Rachel, actually, now that we're talking about Rachel, your dream might come true sometime. And this is how cool Rachel is. Before she just destroyed this course record, I reached out to her on Instagram, and within like 5 minutes, we're in a full-blown conversation.
Shut up! No way!
I'm sending her videos of Looney Loops, and I'm telling her to come down and do Looney Loops.
Yeah, she does like a looped course.
That's exactly how I positioned it. And she's like, that looks awesome. And she hinted at that there's going to be a film coming out about the women. Remember the film we did last year, The Chase?
Yeah.
And it was all about men, and that was kind of the big thing that we just didn't like too much. Awesome film, but they could have had some female representation. Well, she hinted that there's one coming out that's going to be about all the ladies, and I'm guessing it's going to be this year. And I saw Dylan, the filmmaker. I saw him at the end, and he was taking films the whole time. So we could see something. So what she said is, maybe you do the film event again. I'll come down and we'll do a Q&A, and then I'll run one of your races. I was like, perfect.
That would be fantastic.
I think Rachel's going to have different goals going forward. So
things might have changed.
That happening is probably not happening, but that would be cool if you get to meet her. But
Yeah.
I also want to know, Anne, because there's a lot of talk when people do the 125 that they become Coco curious. So are you gonna do the full 250 or what?
My whole entire being wants to tell you absolutely not. But I'm also, again, with the self-awareness that I tend to escalate learn in chunks. So, I mean, do I want to? No. No, I do not. It is not on the docket in any way. But I also know myself, and so I'm not ruling it out entirely.
The door's open. The door's open.
Depends whether Adam's going to do it, and then the convincing starts coming, the arm twisting, and then you're there.
Precisely.
Yeah,
yes.
We'll see you there next year, I'm sure.
Not next year.
Oh man, and thanks so much for taking the time to be with us. We really appreciate you.
No problem. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah,
it was wonderful.
Awesome. Thanks.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Mark, that's our conversation with Anne. I love talking to her so much. She's a great counselor because she just makes me feel better after talking to her. You know what I mean? You always have like the warm fuzzies after you're done talking with her.
Yeah.
She's just so positive and so
it's
good.
Like a warm hug the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Every time we talk to her. So it was really cool to hear some of her. I hadn't heard that story about her running the 125, and just to hear some of that struggle really was pretty impressive. That to be able to like have a fear of heights, go along this cliff edge in the dark that's pretty astounding to be able to overcome some of that.
Yeah, it's been pretty fun. Like for people who don't know, my partner Amber is best friends with Anne, so I've been able to see kind of her starting, and she started well after me, like when it came to trail running. And it's just been crazy to see what she's doing. Like I would never go and try. I attempted 100 miler in my life, and I will never do it again. And I said I would never do it again. So good on her. I just love the spirit of just going for it and just learning about herself the whole time. And it's really cool. And also her herring run experience, that was pretty funny because I do remember that. I do remember seeing her struggling at the end, and I was trying to joke with her, like keep the spirits up, but because I think then I was only doing the 10K, so I was able to peel off. I felt so bad. She just kept going. But it's funny how she talks about how hard it is, because we were actually just there for a route preview on the weekend, and Brian's had to make it even harder now. So it was rough. I was sore after that run. And it's funny because we came back to Rockwood the next day, and I felt like I was a champion. I could run through there so fast.
That's saying something. That is saying something right there.
Good honor to get through that, because that was that's a tough course.
Yeah, man. Wow.
Yeah.
It's funny because like when I was running some loops with Anne at Looney Loops last year.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I would love to run with you. And I was like, oh, that's great. I always love having the company. Jeff had blown ahead of me like he always does and was going way fast. And I was just trying to keep my pace.
Yeah.
And Anne was just like, yeah, this is great. We had a couple chats. And then she's like, oh, actually, I'm going to go catch up with these people now. And I was like, okay, that's great. And it was like she got shot out of a cannon. I was like, boom, she was gone. And I was like, holy shoot. She was really running pretty slow to keep up with me. And then so she's no slouch. Like, don't take her gentle demeanor as like,
she's not into it. Yeah, she's downplaying what she can actually do. She knows, well, she may or may not know, but it's like Amber. They've got that athletic background, and they just come naturally into the sport. Unlike you, me, and maybe Jeff. Like,
that's right.
We got to work our asses off.
That's right.
to get minor improvements. And she's like, we'll go do 125 miles, no problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. For anyone who doesn't know, because we're in Canada, that's 200 kilometers, by the way. That's a ridiculous distance.
Goodness.
Yeah,
I can't even get my head around that. Like,
no.
Like, I'm trying to think of the distance. Like, if we drove 200 kilometers from here, from like St. John, where would that get us? To Quebec, right? That'd probably get us to Quebec.
No,
right to the top of the province, maybe.
Probably Woodstock or like Florenceville. I think Fredericton's like 1:30 or something like that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
running from St. John to Florenceville.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
And not just on roads. You're doing some big like
Yeah.
mesas and oh yeah. In the desert, like the heat and then the cold at night. It's wild. Like watching that
crazy.
Cocodona this last week has
Right?
just been crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. I
So
love her.
yeah, and she's one of the nicest people, most positive people you'll ever meet. And so
Yeah.
we hope that you all enjoyed our conversation with Anne. And whether you're running to enjoy the beautiful nature or you're running to get first place, man, just keep on chasing the trails, everyone.